We have the t-shirts back in stock, my darlings. What is delayed is not denied. We have it in blue since you loved it so very much indeed, my darlings. You better go ahead and get your t-shirt before it sells out, because I just might go ahead and do a yellow t-shirt for you and an orange t-shirt. You have to bear in mind, Baby Girl is a small brand. We are self-funding here, so I can only do so much. But yes, the t-shirt is back and I am living and loving. I also have a surprise for you. Yes. You asked and I said, why not? We have brought the black t-shirt back. What is delayed is not denied. Are we living and loving? Ah! Hello, my beautiful Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we, baby? So, I've been getting a lot of requests to cover the Karmelo Anthony case. And I decided that not only am I going to cover my humble opinion on this case, but I'm going to really say something that I'm gonna speak on something that I feel should be said. How about that? But before then, let me bring everybody up to speed about the Karmelo case, because some people don't know anything about it. Okay, so let us start. Karmelo Anthony, a Texas teenager, is a 19-year-old former high school athlete from Frisco, Texas, who was convicted of murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison. The incident broke out on the 2nd of April last year, 2025. An altercation broke out at a high school track meet at David Kukendall Stadium during a storm delay. So it was raining. Anthony, then 17, stabbed a 17-year-old rival athlete Austin Metcalf in the chest after being told to leave a team tent 15 times. The trial drew massive national media and social media attention. The jury rejected Anthony's claim of self-defense and deliberate sudden passion. The verdict: the jury found Anthony guilty of murder under the Texas law. 17-year-olds are charged as adults. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison and will be eligible for parole after serving half of his sentence. So 17 years, which means that he will come out when he's like 34. Yeah. Austin Metcalf was a twin. His twin brother was there. This happened in broad daylight when Karmelo stabbed this boy. Do I think that Karmelo meant to kill Austin? No. Do I think that Austin and the other team members that were there, opposing team members were there, could have left Karmelo there to sit down? Yes. Do I think that if Austin, his twin, and all the other 20 boys, had they been black, would they have bothered Karmelo? No. Do I think that Karmelo would have stabbed him the way he did if Austin was black? Also, no. Do I think that a 17-year-old boy should go to prison for 35 years? No. Do I empathize with Austin's family? 100%. They've lost their child. Their child is gone. Just the way Karmelo will not make his parents, grandparents, is the same thing for Austin. Is this racially charged? Yes. Yes, I do think so. Why? Because America is that way. Because I'm American and I lived there for 20 years. And I saw it with my own eyes. And that's what's so very, 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 very sad. I think white America has to do better by black America. And the way you talk about black America, your children are listening. And they act out according to what they hear you say. I'm just saying this in general. I'm also saying this about black America. They feel very, very... They feel the imperialism. I'm going to tell you a little story. A couple of stories as I go along the way. When I was living in California, my brother and I lived together. And it was a very, very interesting experience. Because the way I was treated and the way he was treated was two completely different things. And I remember one day we went to a supermarket and my brother dashed out and they closed the door. They put the sign and said closed. So when he came back to the car, I told him to park in the back. And I came out and I walked in and I bought what we had to buy for the house. Prior to that, I had watched on television, to my utmost shock and horror, because I'm going back now, I'm a little older than some of you guys, how the police beat up Rodney King. I was absolutely certain, without a doubt, that all of those policemen would go to jail. They walked free. That was the first for me to really see the injustice that black America endures. Stay with me, I'm getting somewhere. I understood the hatred that black America would have to white America because you didn't care. You didn't show any concern even when you knew it was unjust. White America just didn't care. It does not involve me, so it's got nothing to do with me. And then we had the O.J. Simpson trial. And I could see it a mile away. I don't know why white America didn't. In your mind, you think O.J. walked away free. If you ask most black people, they'll tell you it wasn't about O.J. It was about an eye for an eye. You do us, we'll do you. And in your arrogance and in your tone deafness, you took a black jury as if they were going to find O.J. wrong. You see, what happened was, white America, you were the injustice for Nicole Brown Simpson, not O.J. Why? Because of all of the atrocities that had been happening to black Americans. Mostly black American men. That's why I stand for my black brothers. Anywhere, any day, 10 toes deep. Because I was coming into a country and I was unbiased. And I have white friends. I have white American friends that I live and love. I don't judge upon your color. But do not get it twisted. I see the color bias. Where was the justice for Trayvon Martin when George Zimmerman shot him in the back? Where was the justice for George Floyd and countless others? Don't get me wrong, Karmelo was wrong. Karmelo should be punished. But it's looking very much like damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you're innocent, you're guilty. If you're guilty, we'll take your life and all that of your family members. That's why this has racial tension. I'm going to say it. Because, why? If this was a white guy, this would be different. And it was a black boy, they would have said he shouldn't have been there. He was aggressive, he was threatening, he was all of these things. You see me? It's one of the reasons why I didn't study law, because it's different shades of grey. It's not fair, especially in America. Not because he was right, but because you have to feel the pain that we feel. You have to feel the injustice that we live through every day. For sure, my black American brothers and sisters. That nobody wants to say it. I'll say it. Out here in London, I'll say it. That's what this is. Karmelo was wrong. It was an overkill. If he punched you, beat him to the ground. You don't have to use a knife or any ammunition, because Austin didn't have a knife. But the greater, bigger picture is that this is how black America lives every day. And it's not fair. It's not right. And you want justice when it's on your end. When we feel justice is fair, it affects every white American, because all of a sudden now we're feeling for Austin. Austin was a twin. Austin told him to leave. He was told to leave 15 times. What about all the other black boys that told an Austin to leave? And some way, somehow, shape or form, it turned out the other way. They always get the short end of the stick. Always. And that's what nobody's talking about. And that's what is sad, because America is supposed to be the greatest. And yet it's not. I lived there and I saw it for what it was. And black America has contributed so much, and yet nobody has the common sense to say, you know what, for all that we've done to them, do you not think that we owe them some kind of apology? For all the racism, for all the injustice, for the slave trade, for all of that. You're better than me. You really are. Black America, yes you are. It's a lot. And we have to call a spade a spade. You cannot create a problem, and then when the problem now creates a reaction, you now say injustice. I believe Karmelo would never have stabbed this boy if he was black. Because it's deep-rooted hatred and resentment that has now seeped in to the next generation. So you know what? The cycle will continue to repeat itself, because you know, at the end of the day, we're all crying for what is delayed is not denied. One day, we will get justice. That day is yet to come. That's why the mothers are crying. That's why we have people out here crying for Karmelo. It's not what Karmelo did, it's what Karmelo represents. Our black sons are either dead or in jail. Doesn't really matter what it is in a sense, because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's not fair. When will white America stand up for all children, for all races, for all creeds, and be treated equally? I'm tired of marching. I'm tired of standing up and screaming. I'm tired of turning a blind eye. I'm so tired that I have to speak the truth now. That's where I'm at. Let's really call it what it is. It's unjust for all the other black boys, for all these other cases. Why is it that if it's black, it's not as important? It's less. It's of less value. Why is it Black America paid less? Why is it that when we go to all of these black neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, black, a white America stand up and say, this is not right. Stand for one, stand for all. That's why this has made headlines. I have a son, and he will grow up the way he's looking to be 6'6", 6'7". I have friends who have sons. Your heart is beating until they come home. And you try to tell them and you teach them as best as you can. Walk away. I say it on this channel too. Walk away. Walk away. Be the bigger person. I am the queen of being the bigger person. I go because my life is not worth this shenanigans. Am I right a lot of the times? Yes. But right is not what my family needs to hear. I need to be the bigger person at all times. You can't come out here with some ego. You can't come out here with some arrogance, trying to be, yeah, the big boy. Yeah, I'm trying to show off. I got one little girl looking at me, so I'm going to try and be this. You can't do that. Black or white. Most especially black. There are different rules for Black America as there are for white America. Even when I was modeling, white models, there were different sets of rules. Right down to makeup. If you didn't master your makeup as a black person, you look like Casper the Ghost. They didn't know how to take care of your hair. They didn't know how to take care of your makeup. Even in wardrobe in LA, they didn't know how to dress here. They didn't know how to dress our hips. They didn't know how to dress our bust. We were different. It's annoying. I feel so very, very, very sorry for Austin Metcalf. And I'm happy that the family got justice. I am. But this white family, did you ever consider your black neighborhood? One time. I have black friends, black American friends, who told me categorically they don't have white friends. That's the racial divide in America. And you're surprised about this. But you taught it. You showed it. You guided them. You've not learnt your lessons. You've not given justice where justice is due. And so this is what we have. 17. He's 19 now. He could be easily be my child. It's sad. You are all up in arms. I remember the OJ case very, very clearly. It was never about OJ. It was about justice for the ones that you overlooked and they didn't get any justice. That was what that was about. It was for Rodney King and so many. How can you see a black man die for 8 minutes on the street and nobody did anything? How? And you think that's justice? And you think that at the end of the day, we will not settle down and say, okay, you know what? We'll wait. That's why today is sad. It is about black and white. It is about racial bias. It is about using a sledgehammer to kill an ant. Because so many have gotten away with this murder of black boys, black women, and walked out. And nothing came of it. I repeat, Karmelo was wrong. He was all the way wrong. All the way wrong. But let's look at the psychosis behind it. Who is really wrong? It's us as a society. It's what we teach our kids, it's what they show. A child is not born with hate. A child learns heat, and that is what is sad. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit the notification button, and I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking